Outlaw Sports is brought to you by Casper Energy Services. Casper Energy Services prides itself on a culture of success.
For the next couple of weeks, I think we're going to see a lot of player movement in the NHL because of the flat line in the salary cap. Now, ever since the Flame season ended, Flame fans have been screaming for the head of Johnny Gaudreau. Johnny Hockey, trade him. Now, about a month ago, I made a rant about get rid of the guy, he's not a leader, and he disappears in the playoffs. Because let's face it, there are two seasons in the NHL. The freewheeling regular season, where he scored 99 points a year ago, and the playoffs. It's tough. It's win at all costs. It's in your face. It's grueling. It's grinding. It's tough hockey. So it comes down to this. Role players. Look at Tampa Bay. Let's play devil's advocate. Let's look at the last two Stanley Cups. Tough hockey with skilled positions. When you look at Tampa Bay, I think they won the Stanley Cup at the trading deadline. They brought in all those guys to an already talented team. It made them bigger, it made them tougher, and it gave them more depth. You look at a guy like Pat Maroon, who they brought in for a song this year. He'll be a free agent. Why wouldn't they pick up someone like that? He's won 2 Stanley Cups. He's tough. He's a good guy. He's a team player. He's an emotional player. So the point I'm making with role players, you take someone like Johnny Gaudreau and build around him, build some toughness around him. Look at Tampa Bay, all those tough guys, and then you have Kucherov, and you have Braden Point, the Calgary kid, that probably should have won the Conn Smythe had Hedman not had such a fantastic playoff. But they had all kinds of room. They could score. They had everything. They're going to be in salary cap hell next year, but they saw their window, they took advantage of it. And you have to applaud them for that. So when I look at the Flames, and you got a guy that scored 99 points a year ago, it's not something that happens all the time. And Brad Treliving has to make up his mind. What are you going to do? Are you going to trade him and get something, or are you going to build around him? Bring in the pieces. Bennett and Lucic, outstanding in the playoff this year. They banged everything that moved, really. They hit everybody. But you need more than that. You have to have role players, and everybody has to know their role. So Brad Treliving, I've got more faith in him than I've had in other general managers that have been here that have had talented players like Johnny. I mean, you look at it. Marty St. Louis, a little guy, too small to play here. What does he do? He goes wins the Stanley Cup in Tampa, and he lights it up. He was dynamic. He was fun to watch. You had Savard, Mark Savard, didn't fit in here. Before he got hurt in Boston, he was an offensive threat. He lit it up. Perhaps the biggest trade and the biggest disappointment I always thought, and I never understood the trade, was Brett Hull. Now this kid, even in his first playoff game, scored, but they didn't like him because he didn't back check. Who cares? Get a role player to back check. This guy lights it up. Hell, he had 82 goals one year. He had 741 goals in his career. And the Flames say, wow, that trade brought us a Stanley Cup. Maybe it did. But imagine having that firepower with that big, strong team that you had back in those days. What would you have had? You would have had more than one Stanley Cup. I truly believe that. So this is the thing. It comes down to role players. What do you want to do? You don't get a 99-point player all the time like Johnny Gaudreau. Build around him or trade and get something in return. Tough decision. It all comes down to playing the role that you're supposed to play.